Who's right? Who's wrong? You decide. Hash it out with Frank Garay and Brian Stevens. Brought to you by Remen Wholesale.
Hello, my name's Brian Stevens, and this here is Frank Garay, extraordinaire, and we're here with you on another episode of Hash It Out.
Yeah.
Today we want to talk about subprime mortgages and how far is too far. It's our opinion right now that the housing market seems to have got to a tipping point, meaning home values are increasing quicker than wages are, and what's happening is affordability has become fleeting in a number of different markets. Unless we have huge wage increases across the board, which isn't likely, or unless we change our qualifying standards on a qualified mortgage, which isn't likely, we're going to see a stagnant housing market. The only avenue that we have yet to explore is really reintroducing subprime loans. Just a few moments ago, we had a loan officer come in and talk about the Bank of California. You're welcome, Bank of California. And what they're doing is they're offering all doc 12 months bank statements in order to qualify a loan rather than your typical tax returns. This clearly is going to help a self-employed person. But the question we really have is how far is too far when it comes to subprime?
Gosh, that's a good question. You know, and I think the way I would look at that would be that the subprime loan was also called the liar loan. Remember that? It was called liar loans. That's what they called the subprime loan back in the day when everything blew up. Liar loans. So,
real quickly, when all a subprime loan is a loan that does not fit into the qualifying criteria of Fannie and Freddie. That could be anything.
That could be anything. However, back in the day, it's equated to liar loans, which was the vast majority of the subprime that was going on, was the quote-unquote liar loan, where you're fabricating income, and I don't mean like you're producing fake documents, you're just writing stuff in there that's not real, etc. So this thing that the Bank of California is doing, I don't really think it goes that far because they are getting bank statements on a self-employed guy. They are seeing deposits. They are seeing how much money goes out of the bank. So they are seeing something tangible that they can make, an informed decision on when it comes to lending out the money. I think if we start getting back into, hey, write in the box whatever you want or put in whatever works, that's when we're starting to go too far. That's my opinion. I don't think what they're doing is necessarily that awful bad. I think it's actually pretty cool.
Okay. Stated income deal for a self-employed person.
That's good. I don't know. What do you think? Stated income self-employed person.
I think you can do anything responsibly, stated income, if the income fits the job description, which is fairly easy to get. I think that makes sense. If you've got huge deposits, that's okay. Neg-am deals.
Okay, neg-am deals, in my opinion, they were awesome for a particular type of borrower, and I think that when it was matched to the appropriate borrower, most of those people didn't have any problem with those loans. I think what happened is they started to make those loans kind of a mainstream item, a very accessible item for people that clearly didn't understand how they worked, didn't care how they worked, just wanted to get into the door. But for your investor loan, that was a great product. For your self-employed, that was a great product. I did many of those deals, and even through the crisis, the clients that I did those loans with, they were still doing fine all the way through the crisis. In fact, rates came way down, and those loans got really, really inexpensive for them.
World Savings had one of the best book of business. They did nothing but neg-am deal, all backed by the coffee and the cozy, all backed by certificates of deposit that didn't have huge fluctuations. It was a great book of business. It made sense. Once Wachovia took over and Washington Mutual took over, they really screwed the product up.
True.
Prepayment penalties.
Prepayment penalties, gosh,
Let me just pose something to you.
Yeah.
Okay. If we had prepayment penalties on every loan in the years leading up to the crisis, not as many people would have pulled money out of their houses, and maybe we wouldn't have fallen as far as we did. It could be very, very honestly argued that prepayment penalties would have helped deflect a lot of the problems we've had with our housing crisis.
That's a very, very good point.
Sure.
So anyway, when is it going too far? This Bank of California loan, very interesting. We just learned about it today. Is it a trend? Is it starting something? Is it going in a direction that we shouldn't go? Or is it okay for that self-employed borrower? That's what we would like to know from you.
I gotta tell you one thing real quick.
What?
Here's when it goes too far. Remember New Century?
Yeah.
New Century, how they used to come hand stuff to you when they'd go into your broker's office?
Yeah.
New Century had New Century branded whiteout.
Yeah. That's right, they did.
I'm not kidding you. They really had whiteout. That's when I think this whole thing has gone too far.
When the lenders are handing you the White House. Yeah, it may be going too far at that point. Anyway, what do you guys think about this deal that Bank of California is doing? Let us know your thoughts down below and your thoughts in general. We really appreciate it. And don't miss us next time here on Hash It Out.
Bye.
Today's Hash It Out was brought to you by Remen Wholesale. Hash It Out airs every Thursday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time and can be viewed on MortgageNewsNetwork.com.
This is Mortgage News Network.